Alright, let's go on a quick tour of the Sparks module of Mathbiol console. The easiest way to start is to type this URL in your Chrome browser. So bit.ly/load sparks. So by doing this, you move to this environment, mathbiol.github.io. This is code being served directly to your browser, no downloads or installations, and it follows a trend towards using the web as a computer. So all the applications are automatically assembled through code injection in your browser. Here's some illustrations of what this means. I just had an application loaded here in the middle of a free text explanation of what it is. So let's do this again. And there we are. So this approach is called literate programming, the mixture of computation and explanation in the same format, which is something the browser is ideally designed for. For something more specific about this architecture, you can have a look at the Open Health platform. This is something you can easily find by just typing pubmed Open Health, and there it is. So this paper demonstrates in a number of applications how we can get something that before required a server-side and a client-side component, and we can now package them and automatically serve them in a URL to you without downloads or installs. With that in mind, let's now have a look at the command line tools. So here we are using load sparks. Anything you see in green with the black highlight is commands you can write. For instance, to learn more about the state-wide planning and research cooperative system. That's what SPARCS stands for. And I take the opportunity to thank the state for its forward-thinking approach to open health and the adoption of open health REST APIs. It's fantastic. Without this, we couldn't play these tricks with caching and aligning of APIs and traverse 15 million patients so quickly. Alright, so now with that in mind, let's move to one last word about the command line environment. Every command that is defined with the usual object notation sparks.count, for instance, you can also write it in reverse, count sparks. This will be interesting for people wanting to develop your own module, so you can take advantage of this double syntax, one more friendlier than others. For instance, I could have done the same thing, sparks.count, which wouldn't come as natural to a programming naive user, let's put it this way. Okay, now the interactive environment itself is just traversing a large collection of flat JSON files. So let's create some room for the plot. And now we could be looking at individual conditions, and they are being plotted against the variables that describe this parameter. We could narrow the cohort identification further, for instance, by writing cancer. Now we just got cancer diagnosis here, and you see how the numbers are updated very quickly. At this point we can change, for instance, county. Let's see, Queens, where is Queens? There's Queens, and so you get another set of hospitals. Notice how quick the retraversal of the data set is. You can also change years, and as you change, the plots are updated. Even more complex plots, same thing. You could at this point also invert the axis, and maybe go back to Suffolk, where Storybook is located. There it is, and reverse them back. And see, everything was preserved. We lost one of the keywords here. Let's fix it, which actually reminds me to note that the constraints are regular expressions. So for instance, you could say I only want hospitals with South in the name, but maybe I want Samaritan added to this collection, in which case you could do something like this. Replot, and there we are. You could also invert, and these constraints are satisfied. Only these three categories are included. Okay, let's go back to to diagnosis versus facility name. Maybe we'll choose something else, because what I want to show you now is, can we remove this, is how to get to the actual data. For example, let's see, we are looking at Medicare patients, or Medicaid patients, for instance, that were cared for at University Hospital, at Stony Brook University. So when you click on the link, the actual 7,000 plus patients are now pushed to another environment, in this case a spreadsheet environment, where you can take advantage of whatever spreadsheet tools you have in this environment. You could also move to environments where, in addition to the spreadsheet tools, you have some automated analysis. So in this case, I'm moving the content to Google Sheets, where, if you give it a second or two, there we are, where the data is processed and some salient statistical features of the data are automatically identified. So you have some correlations here that are just automatically being recognized in the data. So I encourage you to spend some time on this, especially because you can write your own free text questions about the data and get your answers. So we have a bit of machine learning coming your way here. All right, let's see what else is important. Okay, let's copy. This is an important one. So when you copy the table, if you now move to a regular Excel spreadsheet, there we are, the links preserve the connections to these external environments. See, so I went from Excel back to a cloud, if you want, based system, in this case in Excel spreadsheets online. The same thing is true for the plots. So let's replot it. If you click on this button here, your data, in this case the plot, is being pushed to a Tableau-like environment that is better suited for open source development. It's called Plotly, where you can change the plot. You can come here and change anything you want. You can also save, you can serve it to others, you can get the JSON object and load the same plot in MATLAB, R, Python, whatever is your favorite analytical tool. This is something Plotly was designed for. I encourage you to have a look so you know that you can now traverse multiple analytical environments. And I think we'll stop here for now. There'll be more videos about this environment and other modules in Mathbiol console. Alright, bye now.